forget, because then you can get on Spotify. All right, so we're going to go live stream, go live, hit some bumper music.
Mom's calling in.
Oh, that's good. That she can be on the show. That's how we do it. All right,
What do you got to do?
Pump music. I can hear it in there. Let's see if we got sound signature. Oh, yeah. We are now live on YouTube. Let's push play on Audition. All right, record in Audition. Sound waves. Virtually see no sound waves. Let me do the music. Go up to the top level. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Bill Yard, if you're out there, I love you. So much sound trouble this morning. We're trying a lot of new tech, but it's probably worth it because on the show today we have Bonnie and Jake, a.k.a. at the Mo Jorgen, the gentlemen, the legends. I realized I sent out a tweet. Dutch, it sounded kind of arrogant. I was like, the living legends from ATG. And Dutch Chattahoochee myself, which sounds like I'm included that. That is ATG are living legends. So appreciate any chat on sound levels is greatly appreciated. And our bumper music, which you probably can't hear, a little bit of punk, cut we pulled off of DeWolf there. I'll fade that down.
Free of charge.
Free of charge.
Fuck it. Take it anyway. You gotta pay it.
But we'll go, we'll minimize this right here and get back to, well, so I got to go to OBS and then I can see. And that's what we look like right there. And I got this picture. Look at me manipulate this. This is, people who aren't familiar with our show, this is how unprofessional we are. I could just do all sorts of things, just max out the ATG picture and the green screen stuff and just move it all around. It's awesome. Bonnie, Jake, how you guys doing today?
Good. Doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. And as I said, maybe before I hit the live button, I personally think that you guys are the best thing going in baseball right now. And we talked a little bit yesterday, Bonnie, about like comedy, punk music. And you know what I didn't get to, because I was looking at some ATG stuff, is there might be a significant amount of hockey knowledge up inside of your noggin. My sister lives in Edmonton.
Wow.
How's it sound there, Dutch?
Sounds good. I was going to say, the only thing I know about hockey is everything I learned listening to the Hextalls. There's this band, and I was thinking about hockey.
Are you guys familiar with the Hextalls, the punk hockey band?
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard of them.
The Hextalls. Who's the guy? The Isotopes that do the baseball punk?
Yeah, the Isotopes.
Yes.
They're fucking great.
So, like, we're just like peas in a pod. I put in the description for YouTube. It's like in Step Brothers, where he's like, "Did we just become best friends?" And you're like, "Yep." You want to go to the garage? You want to go do karate in the garage? Yep. So, man, oh man, where to begin? I think it kind of started with us just like sharing how we like got into this, and I think it's maybe creatively speaking, we got baseball we love, we got sports we love, and this is our sort of weird expression of self. But I'll let you guys kind of talk about the origins of ATG, and then we'll just start like running through y'all's pages.
Okay. Yeah, I'll lead it off. So the ATG thing started as back in early 2017 as our MLB The Show online league with some friends. And the ATG came from, we found an all-time greats like roster file. Can't even remember who made it in the roster vault for that game. And we did back then they had a thing called online franchise, and you could do a fantasy draft and then play all your homies online. Mm-hmm. So it just gradually grew from that. So it originally meant all-time greats for that roster set. We did a few seasons like that, and then now it
ended up evolving into a logo that turned into ATG Baseball. And then the years keep going on, and it turns into...
Yeah, like early 2020 when COVID, the lockdowns, we were bored. I told you about that yesterday, and we said, hey, let's paint a wall in the garage green and see what we can do for green screens.
Yeah.
Just learning it on the fly, and it started as a weekly recap show for our league with all the ATG original dudes.
And then it just started growing, and
we haven't stopped. And now we hit 50 followers last week after almost 3 years of grinding, and a copyright hit on every video we do, damn near.
That's what I mean. I didn't even want to ask about the licensing because the musical choices are so good. I was like, don't stop. I was looking at some stuff. There's like Busta Rhymes and Kenny Rogers.
What do you call it? The exclusive performance for the 100th episode. That shit
We've
was
had
the greatest thing
Kenny
ever.
Rogers has been on the show 3 times now. It was very
good.
I mean, you must
was
really
nice
have
of
to
him
like
to-
save up your money to get that guy to come on.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. He's big on he plays the files, I think. So he was down.
He comes back for every year-end show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say another cool thing you guys do is that like every beginning of the show is like that crowd. At first I thought you guys like were located behind a baseball field or something.
I got
No,
that. I
yeah,
put
we
the
have an
Dutch cam.
in-studio audience. They're
Yeah, it's
pretty
fucking
rowdy.
awesome. It's all like woo. But I thought you guys were behind the baseball fields. That was kind of trippy once I found out what was going on. I was like, that's cool. as
No,
fuck.
lately,
It's us in our backyard we got 3 pieces of wood painted green.
yeah, the original on the.
It's-
I've got like a 12 by 24 shop outbuilding here at our house, and we got we have the main screen. That's like Studio A on that.
yeah.
But we've been filming a lot lately, just on the back patio,
Yeah,
the party
The-
porch.
the production, and I probably am getting echo, but like the production quality on your guys' stuff, I mean, people are like, whatever, like we're all DIYing it, but it's awesome, the edits, and like you kind of like do like with a Kenny Rogers, it was like half Kenny Rogers, like half like Jake taking hacks and like in a tie doing like, there is just like nuggets of hilarity and joy in every single thing that you guys put out that I'm like, dude, it's so unique and so funny. But I don't even know how you guys do like 90% of the stuff you do.
So he does all the editing and Power Director,
Yeah, I'm the producer. And
but all of the every video is filmed on his iPhone.
my company, iPhone 7.
We don't have any fancy cameras or anything. The microphone you see is an old PS3 microphone from one of those SingStar games or
I
something.
think the dog chewed the cord
It's like
off
Rockstar.
it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Rock
It's-
band.
Yeah.
Yeah, we added the microphone element just out of the blue this summer, and it just kind of stuck. It was a cool prop. So we've had some gradual changes over. It'll be 3 years, 3 full years, I think, in April
I think so.
that we've done this. Jake used to wear the sport coat with the tie when we were in the garage, and
Oh, it was so good.
Love
Ties were
Tie.
phenomenal. Sport coat was
Hoodies.
phenomenal.
yeah, I'm usually hoodies even in the summer when it's.
Yeah, your hoodie game is unrivaled. The amount of like historical, like Negro League hoodies that you've got there, Bonnie. Wow.
You're not wrong.
It's so good. Such good stuff.
No, thank you. Yeah, I got a lot of hoodies going. I asked Santa for a lot of hoodies, and he brought me a bunch.
Anna brought it.
Santa brought them early, and
That's good
but no, we're a
stuff.
big fan of like oddball kind of comedy. Like lately, like I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Eric Andre, kind of that stuff.
Yeah.
Old Adult Swim, Space Ghost,
The
Trailer
weird.
Park Boys.
The weird.
Yeah, a little more.
TPB.
Weird,
We were
but
looking
knowing-
some of that this morning, looking through Mr. Leahy's shit isms and shit hawks. It's all gold.
The shitliners coming to Port Ricky.
The shitliners coming to port. I'm just gonna like slowly do public service announcements throughout this for any of the like the few friends we have watching. Get into
Yeah.
like the YouTube chat and be like, dude, you got to turn up Jake and Bonnie, or there's like too much echo, because I know there's gonna be echo because I can't hear them without my laptop on. But if it's tolerable and you can get it, I think I can shut my mouth and remove echo when we start going through all the ATG videos and stuff.
We were watching this morning. We were cracking apart. We were watching that video about the "We Are Here for You" one. The lady in the
Oh
field.
God, yeah. I forgot about that. So there's
That's got some backstory.
Yeah, I made the mistake of joining Facebook and then joining a Facebook roster group that we're not that nerdy when it comes to some of the video game culture, and there are some dudes mad that guys had moved on and made stuff apparently for 21 and 22 the games. So I made that before work one morning to make it look like a Viagra commercial. And went ahead and declared
It
us
reminded
the
me of
kings
that girl from Far Cry 5, one of the sister. If you ever played that game.
I don't know. I feel like 'cause
Big, maybe.
I haven't played that one.
I'm too old. I feel like it's like one of those ones where like 20 years in the future, you get put into a virtual world and your brain is being reprogrammed. And so I'm just like asleep in the pod with like the thing over my, like the VR over my face being like reprogrammed. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, ATG, like this is the future of my life for the next 100 years.
People do that shit now, that fucking Facebook thing.
It's so good. Like,
Yeah,
to the creative end, like, there's no reason to do that, but it's awesome. Like, nobody mainstream can just, like, throw that up on their channel and, like, people, like, get that. It's
Some
the
of the stuff we
obscurity.
do,
It's genius.
it's just not heat of the moment, but we kind of like I was going back through shows last night before bed, and there's shit from 2 months ago that I completely forgot about. We just kind of
we don't have a script we go off of.
Yeah.
we haven't really looked back.
We have our set segments that you'll see. Like occasionally we'll have our card segment if we have something we open that week, or we do birthdays every episode, which even that has evolved from doing player numbers. We're into
episode.
we're into like find a specific stat that fit whatever number the episode was, and it eventually just turned into birthdays for whatever day the show was airing on. And really those are kind of like the only things that we're like, okay, we know we're gonna do this. And then
we'll shout out the other creator guys that we work with on rosters, because everybody's small and kind of niche, and a lot of work goes into the classic roster thing, and it's all basically for us to enjoy. Guys, we all play them together, and it's a shitload of work.
The historical roster stuff, because like we're hoping to get a PlayStation W here and like get on so we can play with you guys and do some MLB show stuff. I'm not gaming a whole bunch, and I appreciate Will Yardy's like, your voice is blown out. My voice is always blown out, I think, because I get too close. But Bill Yard, dude, legend and sound
Bill's in the
tech.
chat.
America's
He's like
catcher.
Mario C for the Beastie Boys on the just doing all the sound.
There you go.
I just do obscure baseball references. So I think and I always roadmap it at the beginning of the show. I think what we'll do, like, that's a pretty great intro on you guys. We definitely have to talk music. We have to just talk obscure random music, because Dutch, dude, you got so much musical knowledge, buddy. Especially punk.
Yeah, dude. Like when you go to the fest,
Because our show started, we do like two baseball segments and a punk album segment.
well, when you go to the fest,
Nice.
you like sometimes you're there to see certain bands, but in between those bands, you discover new bands.
Yeah.
And so that's how a lot of the bands I know I discovered through the fest. But
Yep. It's that is the best thing ever.
it is. There used to be that one too
I love it.
in Subfest. I used to go to that. That one was sick too.
Yeah. And we have Furnace Fest every year now in Birmingham.
We haven't been to
We haven't been to that
though.
one yet, but
Yeah,
Fest
you
is
guys
an
post
annual.
good footage too of some of those concerts. I was like, oh yeah, I want to be there.
They Off With Their Heads is a great band, and I saw a recent video you guys posted a while back about that.
yeah, Jake shot that with
That was my first show that we've been to that I took my good camera to.
checked with the venue and then contacted the band to see if he could shoot it.
Yeah, and they were cool. The place, it was just
DIY space.
it's tiny, and they were just like, just come
The
on,
last
dude.
time I saw Off With Their Heads, they had Zach from Dear Landlord on guitar. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Dear landlord.
Yeah, that's all good stuff. We'll Dutch will have to introduce him to Destroy Orbison.
Oh, the local San
The
Antonio band.
local San Antonio band Destroy Orbison's pretty solid.
There's quite a few cool punk bands from here, but I don't know. There's this one band. The guy tries too hard because he's trying to be like Tony Lovato from Mass and Mike Herrera from MXPX, and it's just like, you're trying too hard. Just fucking get up there and play. But whatever.
I keep trying to like move like the screens, because when I switch to Dutch Cam, then I got the thing over.
I have my own
People are
special
like,
band.
this is the most professional like DIY baseball podcast ever. So we'll talk music. We'll talk some baseball. I like the fact that, if I'm saying his name wrong, Cristobal Torriente is line driving baseballs off of people's heads, while freaking Rakim is just laying down sick lines.
I like that. We make a nice, classy trailer and close it with him freaking killing a guy.
Yeah. So
fun.
find me somebody in the baseball world that can top that content. You
That's
can't.
high praise. Thank you.
My gosh,
It's,
it's
all
such a
been-
fun channel.
Like I was telling you yesterday, it's all been to like make us pop and make our friends.
The edits are hilarious.
Wrestling
Yeah,
talk, make us for
doing it for the friends and fam. Very excited to find the Discord. Let's try. Well, I don't know. So like roadmap is like music, and then I kind of wanted to talk random hockey stuff for a second. Like get some slap shot. Talk some Dave Semenko, Tony Twist, and dig into the knowledge there, and then I might like backtrack on some Kenny Rogers stuff, because Earl was like, I don't know, a whole lot of Kenny Rogers stuff, but my station, the family station wagon, we did have. I don't know why Buick was making diesel station wagons, but that's what we had, and we had a gray one, and then Dad doubled up and was like, "Fucking, this thing's awesome! Let's get another one with wood paneling." So we were rolling 2 station wagons. We must have 3 or 4 Kenny Rogers tapes, and they're just worn out. And that's when you could do like the mail order, like get the country classics. Like there was like an 8-pack of all. That was before you could make mixtapes. You just ordered them off like Time Life or whatever. It's like that and Kenny Rogers. And then Kenny Rogers also made a film, and this is kind of how the show goes. I just randomly talk about shit.
Yeah, you're good. We're with you.
He made a film called Six Pack.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Kenny Rogers aficionados. And then another random. I think this is just more of a factoid. I think Kenny Rogers got tons of ass. I think that guy got laid a lot. I think he just. I mean, if you're a singer, right, and you had that kind of like classy beard, I think he classed up a white beard way hard early.
He owned the gray, and that hair was slicked. And then he had the chicken place for a while.
Yeah. They're still huge, I think, in Japan or something. The Kenny Rogers chicken.
Oh, the Kenny Rogers roasters?
Yeah.
Oh,
the dude's balling over there. Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers roasters. Somehow Ad Rock worked Kenny Rogers roasters into a Beastie Boys song lyric, but that's for another day. All right, so we'll do some music, do some baseball, and then do some videos. But I think the lead into the music is if I can pull this off, I'm going to flip and do display capture and go to the ATG page. Let's get over here. And this is where they're going to get hosed on the delay. And I don't think they'll be able to hear it, but I honestly believe it's coming through on YouTube. Bill Yard, if you're out there, tell me if you can hear. There's so much good ATG stuff right here. Where was the... I kind of want to do, anybody who ever sees this, I have to go to the We're Here For You, because I thought that was so random and hilarious, but it's here we go. Let's see, this should play.
It does sound like a lighter commercial.
ATG Baseball, the present and future of classic roster creation. We are here for you.
That will never get old.
It's like the hilarious
Play that
pause.
at my funeral, please. That's as good as it gets right there. All this stuff. I got Jake up here talking about a scan burger. I went way back because I was looking at the 100th episode. You guys went out to some lake out there.
The lake? That's
That was at work one morning, I think.
It's either the lake at the course or it's Hurricane Creek over by.
Let me find episode 100 because it's got the Kenny Rogers. Here it is. Let's go to this. This is so good. Oh no, I gotta go back.
This was the first Kenny.
This edit,
ladies and
Pickle
gentlemen,
Lake. You guys are at
for
Pickle
the
Lake.
100th episode of ATG Weekly.
This was 100 years.
100 years, 100th birthday of ATG Weekly.
We bring back to you
Proudly present to you
Look at that
Kenny
beard.
Rogers.
Playoff beard?
It had to have been.
Thank you.
And there's like the John Deere and dogs running around, and then like you guys are just jacking fingers.
We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring out the window at the darkness.
Look at this edit. Brooklyn Dodgers jacking
He began to
bombs.
speak. He said, "Son, I made my life
Dogs in
out of
dresses.
reading people's faces."
Bonnie just laced the line drive to Jake with the bad toss.
That's our homie Turf Beard right there.
The portal with the crow. I don't even know, man.
For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my
A
bottle.
lot of dancing.
Drank
Yeah,
down
we
my
danced.
last swallow.
That was the first
Then he
ATG
pumped a
kitchen.
cigarette and asked me
I
for
feel like that
a
clip
light.
will never get old.
And the night
It's unbelievable.
and his face
Look, there's
lost
a
all
mini-
expression. Said if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
Because like the fucking song had nothing to do with the video being played in the background. But
I can only hope that this gets consumed by about
Know when to run.
50 million people in North America. It's beyond description what you guys are doing. Stop the display capture. I gotta pause that too. That's good stuff right there.
fuck
That's a
Kenny-
pretty good
Kenny
teaser.
Rogers comes after us and tries
Well,
to
actually,
sue
let
us.
me go to the Eric B. Rakim because I just love this for people that haven't
That was
seen it.
that was just last week. wasn't
That
it?
was
This
last week. But another
week.
thing
Yeah.
for people who are like, if our 4 followers ever want to like improve their lives and get on with ATG, you guys are super consistent. You guys
Oh, yeah.
are
We don't-
crazy consistent with
we
the
don't miss an
awesome
episode.
content.
We
Go
try and if
display
we
capture.
know something's coming up, we're like, we try and air on Sundays unless something else comes up. We're like, hey, let's do this Saturday. Or like,
Look at
if
this.
we're going to the fest, we'll hit
You got Chris Speaker, John Henry Lloyd. Like, you're gonna baseball reference all these dudes. Benny Cobb, no idea, but I know Mordecai Brown, three finger.
Benny Cobb.
And then
He was kind of.
here it is. Cristobal Torriente up the middle on that and just hanger off the noggin.
That's why like I'm so stoked for the MLB The Show this year because they have all those Negro League legends
my
and stuff.
gosh.
It's gonna be fucking sick.
Whoops. Let's go like this. Back to the studio. Apologies to everybody in our tech. We'll get better. We'll get better, but it's worth it because we've got comrades in arms at ATG who can just call in every week until we can like work out all the kinks or something. I don't even know. That's just priceless. So that's just one of y'all's channels. You guys are on Twitch. Now, how's the Twitch go? Do you guys just like play like a weekly game or like a couple, like one a day, or like how often you guys doing the Twitch stuff? Oh
Twitch
no!
just kind of happens when it happens. Like he'll be up, he'll get up at like 3 or 4 in the morning before we like go to work, and he'll just hop on, play a game, and slap it live, and just if somebody's up and hops in, they hop in. But
It's usually me testing something, not
Yeah.
for the audience,
But-
just to have the footage there and look back at it later.
but usually we had some early on where it was just us yelling at my TV in my room, watching the computer play each other.
Yeah.
But then it kind of grew into us trying to do like, hey, let's see if we can do a 3-man booth or something, or have the 2 of us and then have a guest on. And we started doing that, but we don't really have a set schedule on those. It's more just, hey, let's.
And it's usually has been, hey, is Bill Yard around?
Yeah.
We have a text thread with Bill, me, him, Jim Myers, and Billy Bliss, which is kind of the
Yeah.
creation team for the rosters, and we'll get in, like he said, and do like we finally figured it out. Santa got me a PS5, so we have one in the den now. Then he has one in his bedroom, so we can do audio, like party audio, while we're all watching a game or one guy playing. So we just kind of get in there, and what we'll do is do a CPU versus CPU game with one of the rosters someone's created, and just shoot the shit like we're watching a classic baseball game.
Yeah, usually spirals into talking about something completely different from what's going on stream, but then somebody will hit a homer or something, and it triggers that bat flip animation with the fancy camera cuts, and we're like, oh my god, Bill just hit a homer.
Another thing we do is we started over the last year and a half, maybe, a thing called the ATG All-Stars,
Yeah.
where we get with these other creator guys. We made a roster file where they said, hey, send us the dude that you made, or Jake would make a guy, or another creator called Dr. Sublime that's really good with the faces. What's your position and what's your ratings? We've included those like on the free agent list of our roster.
Yeah, so like if you're in with us, like if you've expressed interest in the projects we've done, or the projects of people we're associated with, or you just, if you're in the Discord,
You get it.
and like you're into what we're doing, we're like, okay, hey, our kind of thank you is let's put you on, our little
team, yeah.
our baseball team of homies that we're doing streams with, and like he said, you get included in the free agent lists on our rosters. Just ratings all obviously turned all the way down, but it's like, oh, you go in there and you can see yourself. And
but we do streams with those teams. Both we did a split squad thing where him and Bill Yard drafted from the pool and then named legends to fill in the blank.
Yeah.
All the ATG guys had to start, and Mo got swept 3-0. But the games were fun to watch because it's like shit. That really looks like you. But it's dorky, but it's not. It's fun. It's awesome. We're gonna have to add you guys.
Yeah, both you guys, now that you are into what we're doing, and now that you two are in the Discord, we're gonna have to get you guys on the squad. So
that is phenomenal. I have two. Go ahead, bud.
MLB The Show, isn't it crossplay, right? I think I can play because I have an
Yes.
Xbox, so. But I think I can play with PlayStation people.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Trey, a guy we're working on, Trey Roberts from the Discord's on Xbox too, and he played. And he just can't be on the mic with us in the 3-man booth.
The only one announcement is we're so cheap and we've never used Zoom before. I mean, I've used it, but it has that like the 1 hour, and then it's like your session is going to end. So if that happens, which it very well might, we'll bumper music, and then I guess I'll close the app and then open it again and just send you guys another invite.
I don't know why Zoom does that.
I don't know, but we're professionals.
They're stingy with their time. You get 1
So
hour of this thing.
anticipate maybe that in the next 5 minutes. If we get cut off, we'll just try to reconnect, and we'll continue trying to reconnect and just show and talk about ATG stuff until we get you back into the Zoom box. But I anticipate that coming up shortly. And let's see what Bill's saying in YouTube chat, because he was.
Is Bill talking now?
Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I think we sound okay. But the stadiums. Tell me about the stadiums and that because I'm kind of a stadiums guy. Like the stuff, like those were all historical stadiums, or are you making some of those? Some of those things.
The game has a set handful of stadiums already in there. Like you got Polo Grounds and an old version of Yankee Stadium and Shibe and Crosley Field and stuff. But on the 2021 version of the game, they finally added a stadium creator mode for the newer consoles, PS5 and whatever the new Xbox is called. And some guys, Yard and Bliss, have kind of they really picked up on making the stadiums, and then he's even dive into making them, and it's got some limits on what you can create, just dimension wise on the field and the walls and just kind of the overall pieces you can use. But once you really get in there, it's like, whoa, you can actually make things that are pretty accurate with what's available.
What he's saying is you can make big stadiums, old stadiums.
Yeah. No, that stood out to me right away. I was like, where is that? Like, I want to know. Yeah. Like, that some of the stadiums are really cool.
Yard and Bliss from the crew are really
get those guys in
there. Also on the stadium creator, there's been some people that created some funny ass stadiums. I was watching this guy stream one time. He put like a train track in the middle of the field. It was fucking great.
Like Brewster's Millions.
Yeah, there was like a train track going through like in the infield, just through it. And he had these tables set up. It was like a whole ballpark inside of a ballpark, and you couldn't. It was unplayable, but it was fucking funny to see.
Yeah, Brewster's Millions, very underrated baseball movie. When you see like those Twitter feeds, like what's your favorite baseball movie, I always look for the dude that mentions Brewster Millions and follow that person.
There's some other stadiums in there too where people got it set up to where when you're playing somebody, you can't see anything. It's just pitch black.
Oh yeah,
so there's really some strange stuff in there.
Interesting.
I'm still playing on Xbox One, so unfortunately I don't think I can do the roster creator.
I don't know.
But oh well.
We got the PS4, and then the 6-year-old's going bonkers with Minecraft, so I'm more than happy to kick him off. Be like, dude, Dad has important stuff.
Daddy's gonna play some baseball, boy.
You just sit there Indian style and watch me for 6 hours. That's what you're gonna do. Go get me snacks.
It's like, listen here, you Duke Canoe. Go
Father of the Year. Now, that sounds awesome. Let's go over to the Discord's really cool. Let's go.
Oh yeah, their Discord has they have a lot of topics
like
in
we'll
there.
talk about the different rooms and stuff you guys got going in there. Go to the Discord right here, and I kind of hate Discord, but you got ATG, and also what does ATG stand for? Maybe I didn't do my research enough.
Well, that was
All-time greats.
All-time greats. Okay, what do I know?
originally, but
perfect
now
sense.
it's kind of. Yeah, now I think it's just more just ATG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kinda-
All the Gregs.
all the Gregs.
Got the weekly podcast, and you guys just kind of post up, just drop the link in there once you guys cut
Oh,
another.
the weekly, that's us. The podcast is Trey doing his thing for the Hall of ATG. That
Okay.
started. So you two being in there now are official Hall of ATG voters. And
Yes.
They do Code in the Discord, and Trey run that every month with starting the Hall of Fame from scratch kind of deal.
So, and the Hall of Fame is dudes that are just playing good in the leagues as you're playing with the players, right?
No, the Hall of ATG is a thing where we were on stream talking one day with the 3-man booth, and we just we were talking about the real Hall of Fame vote was coming up, and all the controversy and people hemming and hawing over that, and we're like, what would it be like just to start it from scratch? And then when we got off, Toad85, a user on the Discord, had this plan already made out to where we could do an internal thing just for fun, completely starting our own Hall of Fame from scratch, and now we're doing monthly ballots with that.
Including not just MLB and the Negro Leagues. You're
Global.
You're going to see guys from Japan and the Latin American leagues and probably down the line other leagues.
Yeah, so the podcast is the Hall of ATG podcast thing that Trey started with that he does basically once a month when we lead into the ballots coming out once a month.
Oh, that's sweet. So are you
Ducks-
guys
I
have
think
any
Ducks
service
voted
requirements, 10-year service requirements? Or just if you just think a dude is awesome, I guess Lincecum had 10 years of service, but there's border guys for the real Hall, and you guys are like, no, dude, this guy was awesome for 1 year.
Yeah,
You know?
I think we have the 10-year thing. I think Toad has in right now. I don't know. We have changes as we go, so maybe down the line that might swap out if somebody's getting
I think it's a judgment call if it's a foreign player or if there's some season.
Oh, no. They got booted. It ended. Okay. I guess. Okay, let me go here. Let's put some bumper music while
Kick them out?
Yeah, dude. We'll do some bumper music, and then I'm going to, somehow upgrade to Zoom Pro and then call them back.
You gonna send a message?
Yeah.
Be like, hey, the Zoom just kicked us out.
Y'all are viewers. Don't want to hear us. You don't want to hear us talk. You want to hear ATG.
Oh, and so their Hall of Fame thing, I actually voted in it this time. You know?
Yeah.
And it was cool because it was kind of broken down into different eras. So you didn't really, it was easier to vote that way instead of trying to search to every player.
All right, so this is that's the black magic. I think I can just minimize here.
So if anybody was here for those guys, they're gone now.
Let's stick with us. We're going to try
ATG
to...
left, we're leaving too.
Let's do this, I guess.
I didn't know you could upgrade Zoom. I didn't know you could pay.
I don't know, dude. It's worth it for these dudes. Let's go.
Did you send him a message?
I'm going to screenshot my credit card as I'm upgrading Zoom. This is the way we go. So we'll do like that. Continue.
I'll send him. You sent him a message, right? Let him
Yeah,
know.
I sent him a message as I upgrade. Continue. Oh, what? Okay. It's always something in tech, man. Let me tell you, the uphill learning curve with the Seguin River Monsters broadcast and just trying to grow this. My laptop louder? Why is that? You can barely hear me talking? Yeah, what I'm saying is, because you have YouTube on mute, right? Okay. There's, you know what I'm saying? Because,
yeah, hold on.
Because...
I'll put my headphones in.
Because, I can see the sound bar
in
OBS going to YouTube, so they should sound right in YouTube.
This is a live.
Yeah, so,
problem.
if I turn up mine too much, we'll have way too much echo. So I'm trying to keep them down so I don't get a whole lot of feedback. Okay, let's see if we can upgrade here. Yeah, okay. Suggest let's do that. Continue. I guess I'm getting charged for something. Place that order.
I can't believe I didn't think about that earlier. I just plugged it in my headphones.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't hear them.
That was my fault for not realizing
like,
the simple fix.
I can see that their level is like when we go back and watch on YouTube, it should sound right. Like their content, like that's why that Eric, like the Rakim song was okay. So let's go host. Let's schedule what? Okay, let me just go back to the app and like go like this, and then we're gonna go here, and then I'm just gonna go back to the Zoom app, and I should be like master Zoomer now. I can go as long as I want. New meeting. That's us. We're connected. Join with computer audio. We got it. Essential apps. Now we're gonna go more. Copy. Nope. I'm gonna go like this. Invite. What? Copy invitation. I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna go like this. Go back here, resend them the link. Let's see here. Paste. What? Okay, this is the new meeting, I believe. Let's see what happens with the Zoom meeting here.
I'm sure they're like, what the fuck happened?
It's a professional. I don't know where it is. I guess I gotta minimize. That's pretty weird though. I can't get that.
We're professionals though, I swear we are.
No, well, what? Admit those guys. Okay, so they should be in here. I don't know what. There we go. We got them there. But now it's like a different. You guys can hear us again?
Oh yeah.
They're back. We were saying like if people were here for you guys, well they're gonna leave now once you guys disappear.
Window capture. Oh, I guess I gotta do window capture again. That's why. So let's click this thing and go. Is it this one? There they are. Okay. Back in it to win it. Pull them down, get them big, and tell me, like, I think we're back up.
You know what song we need to play? Is that fucking Go Jaguars song from the University of Southern Alabama.
Jaguars song. We will play that song.
Go Jaguars.
People need to know.
But,
sorry, while you guys are booted off, I upgraded Zoom Pro.
Is it like a business thing or something, like a deal?
And I think I probably just published my credit card number, so that's good.
No, it didn't show up. It didn't show up on the live stream.
Got lucky. Dodging bullets. You want to look at them Jaguars song? Okay, they're not going to be able to hear it, I don't think. But let's go to the South Alabama Jaguars. I got all kinds of stories about South Alabama, but we're going to get into the music portion of the Discord in a second after we do, because this is the bump in right to the music. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying? South Alabama baseball song. Jake, can you guys hear me okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good deal. All right, we're about to play Look at Them Jaguars. And here's what I was told when I was like, first home game, I'm like a JUCO transfer, and I'm in the outfield, like four of the other guys, and this song comes on. And I listened to it for about like 10, 15 seconds. I just look at a guy. I was like, "What in the
I would be
fuck
embarrassed
is
if I was
this?"
on that fucking baseball
no, dude,
team
it was a
and
source
they
of
played
pride.
this.
I would go. I was like, "What in the fuck is this?" And he was like, "Dude, some guy like in the '70s just liked South Alabama Jaguars baseball. It was like a country dude, and he went. I don't know where his studio was. He just cut the song, and then just showed up at the stadium. He's like, "Hey, dude, I made y'all a song. I made y'all a song. It's awesome." And they're like, "This is awesome." And now we play before every freaking home game. So you have to go back on YouTube. Dude, you guys don't watch it.
I would be embarrassed again. I would not. I was like, I would tell my friends and family just stay home. Like,
dude, it's so great. It's very much a tradition in South Alabama. So we're gonna display capture, and then I'm just gonna go back to YouTube and play the South Alabama. Look at them Jaguars.
It's funny as fuck, but like,
it's greatness. And you probably can't hear it, but we can get the bass line.
Click on his phone.
Here come them Jaguars.
Just whispering into the mic. Jaguars.
Look at them Jaguars. Look at them Jaguars. Love the way they play that game.
Oh.
Look at them Jaguars scoring them home runs. Sunbelt's gonna be their fame.
I'm just gonna let it kick in. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. It's for everybody else to enjoy on their own time.
Their own time.
Got it all together, so get out there and play.
Crack open a cold one.
Were you supposed to show this way?
They play Alabama.
Jaguars.
Dude, that would not motivate me whatsoever. But to each your own, dude. I mean, whatever.
All right, I'll stop that. I'm possible argument why they haven't made it to the College World Series yet, because that's a really good baseball program. But that's some good stuff. Let's get back into the Discord and go into the music. You guys, your baseball is so awesome that you have a music page, and we can get into that. We got the Dead Boys Classic, of course. That's I was telling Bonnie yesterday, like the Dead Boys and what was the guy? Oh man, he had such a funny name. The CBGB guy was there like
yeah, I can't remember that guy. It was a weird name. I can't remember the name.
Let me look at the CBGB.
Because like there was another group too back in the day called Zero Boys, but
they
were also
they
great.
made that CBGB movie, which wasn't horrible. But let me see if I can find the history. Hilly. The guy's name was Hilly. So Hilly Crystal, who did CBGB, and the reason we're 3BGB and Omfug, and we have Bob Bipp, is because if you look at this image, it has the CBGB Omfug. I gotta go back. The CBGB Omfug 315. So that's why we went with the 3BGB Bob Bipp, and then like the highest modern day Bob Bipp of Rod Carew number on either side of our little logo.
Nice.
We stole it. So
which was crazy, is because like originally it was supposed to be like this, like was it Country and Bluegrass or something club?
Yeah. Country Bluegrass something, but pretty good movie. But Hilly Crystal and the Dead Boys are pretty hardcore punk. I'm a big fan of Minor Threat, and I'm not as versed as Dutch is, but I
was going to say, if you like Minor Threat, I would listen to No Means No too. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bad Brains, Minor Threat, that DC punk, but there's some footage on YouTube if you really want to have a laugh of like Minor Threat trying to do like a show in like a church basement. It's fucking chaos. It looked awesome. But let us know what you guys like, and then I'll let Dutch just riff on that, because you can hear him pretty well now. Or no? Can you get him?
Yeah, we got everybody. Yeah. The music
it's
section
because
on
we're
there,
delayed, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we hear you. The music section on there, I think Trey suggested it, and people just post random stuff on there. But as far as like our listening, that's our friend Brian Turfbeard and that GIF jumping up and down there at Fest. A good homie. Like my listening, since I'm 49, started with, like Men at Work was my first record, I think, and then
that's awesome.
Yeah, like I remember Rock the Casbah coming out, and I was like, whoa, this is different. Then I was really into the Clash, and I had that Combat Rock record, and then
I gotta let me stop you right there for a second,
Yeah.
Bonnie. Random baseball. I swear to God, and I don't know if I can find it. Wasn't Tom Grieve in Rock the Casbah video? Have you heard that rumor? He was like,
I haven't heard that rumor.
Grieve.
Something like that sounds familiar though.
I gotta find that. I heard that in a Texas Rangers broadcast, because if you look at the Rock the Casbah, it's got all the oil wells.
Yeah.
Right? So they filmed that in Texas, and Grieve was like playing first base for the Mariners or whatever. I don't think he was front office yet, and like his wife knew a friend or something. They're filming this. They need somebody to be like a shake, and then like Tom Grieve, random baseball. Sorry, I just had to get that in.
Well, if we're gonna be
that's good.
If we're gonna be talking about punk and baseball, there was the band Pulley. The singer was like a relief pitcher for a while in the pros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Scott Radinsky.
Yeah. I actually found one of his baseball cards in my collection. I was like, dude, this is fucking sick. This is like the greatest card ever. Because Pulley's badass.
He was a pitching coach for a few years while he was the band's still going, and he's still around. There's a good like a 15-minute documentary on YouTube, I think, called Baseball Punks that somebody made.
Oh,
that interviews a bunch of people.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. We haven't watched it yet.
It shows the guitarist from Pup talking about it, and just kind of that connection, how Yeah.
Love some pop.
But yeah, just kind of young age with the skate culture. Discovered Ramones after that. I mean, I was a little young, Violent Femmes in that era, and just kind of branched out to the other stuff, Minor Threat, Fugazi, and then like the golden era of hip hop, NWA and Public Enemy. And to me, it was all kind of connected, and a little bit of counterculture, and still that spirit of DIY, not to sound cheesy, and still kind of listen to that stuff today, even new bands. So
yeah.
And then Jake has his thing too.
Yeah, just kind of a lot of it starting off just kind of was stuff he showed me, and just kind of sprouting off from those bands, finding other bands connected.
Bands more your age.
I get
that are still doing
newer bands that were, you know, like you were like, hey, check out these dudes or something. And then like, I'll start listening to them. And then, just through like YouTube recommended or something, or Spotify, just going into random, that album ends and it starts playing whatever random.
And now there's been stuff that you've turned me on to now. So yeah, like Scowl and a little more modern. Yeah. Good shit. Bad Religion. Yeah.
That's good stuff. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of your guys' music selections. Dutch, how about your top fivers? I know MXPX is number one.
Okay, it's top 5 bands. Okay, it's tough because a lot of good ones, but MXPX, Blink-182 for sure. Number 3 is probably Banner Pilot.
Nice.
4 is probably Dear Landlord. Number 5, I don't know, man.
You don't know?
Well, After School Special from the 90s, like they were a great pop punk band. That's probably number 5, but yeah, those are just off the top of my head because.
No, I'm all over the place. I love the Beastie Boys so much. You can kind of see over Dutch's shoulder. We have like Beastie Boys stuff in here. I think there's like, we have where's this shot? I have, if I move this is like a post. Oh, not that one. The poster bill of the Beastie Boys and Run DMC at Tiger Stadium. Of course, there's glare on it. Super Rap Attack. But they did tons of punk stuff because they started out as punk, and if you look like through their catalog, every album they have always has like 2 or 3 crazy punk tracks. Yeah. So you kind of get the best of everything with those guys. Yeah. But that's pretty awesome that you guys have the music. You guys can just share music because this is what how everybody is. You have you like baseball, you like music, and people are just sharing in here. This is the best Discord. So, and then ATG Marketplace is just like card trading.
That's a newer one that somebody. It's pretty much that. I can't remember I think it was
Jordan.
I can't remember who said, "Hey, maybe we should have something in case somebody wants to do deals." Just to kind of keep the actual cards channel to showcasing what you got.
That's like within the last week. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
We try to keep we don't want too many little sub Discord pages in there where it gets jumbled and just too much. But I think there's a good amount right now. Like just the regular ATG page is kind of the catch-all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then,
that is sweet. Well, you guys are gotta be busy with all this, and I can't imagine, Bonnie, the edit, because the edits are so sick on what you guys are doing. That takes so much time. How some of these videos when you do the weekly, how much time do you dedicate to that edit?
It depends on how I'm feeling. Usually we film it really quick on the Sunday or Saturday. We do it. We've gotten better about filming some stuff in advance and just getting it out of the way. I think last week I knocked out the edit probably. It was right about 2 hours, and that's quick. Because sometimes I'll get sidetracked, and Lori gets home from the store, so you got to help her carry in groceries. So I gotta put on shoes.
Got fritters.
Yeah, she's got apple fritters or something, and take a fritter break.
That is good. Good stuff. Really amazing edits, in my opinion. They're hilarious.
I think a lot of that comes from not knowing how to use the software properly. And kind of just
sitting in there and seeing what happens.
And using that, getting creative with figuring out the layers we can put over each other and figuring out that you can chroma key or whatever, green screen out any color you want, and just seeing what happens and how it looks after that. Yeah.
This past week, the green screen was the roof.
Yeah,
I
the
think
green
outside
screen
on the
is.
carport.
Yeah.
Because there was that one episode where it was like the intro, and it was like you guys were in your living room or something, and there was like some clouds, but it was just kind of like spread out randomly throughout the shot. It was fucking great.
Like, yeah.
Like, dude, it reminds me of like the videos remind me like a 90s punk like home video or something.
Yeah,
Like a
that's
house
probably-
show almost. It's just like, here's some cool graphics and effects. Like,
Yeah, if you
There's
were like
probably-
a punk band, you paid somebody $100,000, like make me the best video you could ever make. It's like it would be an ATG video that they made.
I think if
a
you were
lot
a
of
punk
that is
band, you
probably,
wouldn't have $100,000.
it's probably that influences in me and not even knowing it, just from seeing that kind of shit back in the day, old, MTV 120 minutes videos and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be cool as fuck.
Let's see here. Now, Jake,
From State
talk
Farm.
a little bit about, because I know you guys are Sabre members, but like you're looking for degrees, like historical, because you do so much historical baseball stuff, and you're like going into history stuff. Because like that's how Earl and I met. We met in sound class at school because we're just like, dude, we want to do something creative. But I know I was talking to Bonnie about that. If you want to talk about that, it'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I really didn't. So I'm about done with my first 2 years in college. I should graduate from my JUCO in May and just have my, general stuff done. But I really didn't settle on what degree I wanted to pursue until halfway through last year, I guess. I was leaning more anthropology and diving into just ancient culture stuff, and then we started doing the roster work and just a combination of the Negro Leagues finally being classified as Major League, and talking to all these historian guys that have actually been doing this for their careers, and then here come us video game guys doing it for fun. It just constantly reading Google a guy to make, and you spend 5 to 10 minutes just reading on his wiki page or his Sabre bio, and it's like, okay, this is really dope. And then you realize somebody's missing something, or like, whoa, this guy doesn't have information or something, and it's just you're surrounded in it so much, and it just kind of got to the point where I'm like, there's something there that I think could spiral into something more.
Yeah, so now
essentially.
Alabama history accepted and UAB accepted.
Yeah.
Figure out where he's going to
I don't know where school-wise I'll be going next, but I think the path I have in my head is pretty set at this point. Whether it's pushing towards the curator job at the hall that I sent a application to for fun last summer, or if it's something else. I have the general idea that that's basically what we're doing now is the plan.
Go in a direction of something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Then you got because then you have the longevity to do it. That's why I was like, man, I just want to do something creative, but you got to do what you love.
Yes. Which is kind of what it's developed into, and seeing, part of it really dawned on me too after, San Diego Studios, the people who make the MLB The Show games, announced like, hey, we have, this 5-year deal with the Negro League Museum, and that putting these guys into a video game and the way that they're going about promoting them and the way that they're planning on telling their stories through the mode they're introducing in this year's version of the game was kind of the idea that I included in my cover letter to the hall, saying, if this, my generation and future generations are going to learn or find a way to care about these guys, it's going to be in a format like that. You can't, nobody's going to want to care enough to go, read a book about these guys, or, go take the time and, sit down and read their Sabre bios. If you put them in this virtual format where they can see the player model, they can see the uniforms, they can see the stadiums, and then it looks like they're going to have video packages in between. So, you finish one of those moments it's gonna pop up Bob Kendrick telling you about this guy, and that's gonna be what's going to keep these, this next generation of people, baseball fans engaged in baseball's lost stars.
Yeah.
So, and the thing with that history is you start digging, and especially some of the stuff with the Negro Leagues and the Latin leagues back then, which can be argued as they were major leagues, is the stories are so freaking cool.
Yeah.
And you think about, oh, that's 80 years ago, but I mean, it's so not vanilla, and just the grind and some of the holy shit moments that those guys dealt with. And I mean, there's a million stories. Like,
you'll have to send them the Bill Wright picture where he's
to
smash a dude's head in with
the bat defending a teammate on them. Yeah,
it's just like you always hear the argument that some of these older generations of baseball players were head down, blah blah blah, go playing the game the right way. But once you really start diving in and reading on some of these players, they just had their own form of flashy.
They've been bat flipping forever, man.
People get mad about some of these current guys and bat flips and all that, which is fine, it's understandable. But when you start bringing up the argument that they need to go play like Mantle, they need to go play like Babe, well, there's videos out there. There's not many videos out there, but there's videos out there of these guys showing up the other team. There's videos of these guys out there bat flipping, and I've mentioned it in the Discord a few times, and he's one of our favorites. Pedro Formental, Cuban legend from post-war area, was, doing flashy stuff on the field with his catches. He was doing goofy stuff around the bases. He was keeping guns in his locker room, when he gets to the stadium. And it's like, this was in the 1940s, and
dressing like a pimp back then.
So
have you guys read Crazy in 08?
No.
It's about the 1908 season. It's a good book, and you probably come across this in all your guys' studies. There was a lot of fist fights with umpires back in the
Yes.
You would just,
it's like, what the hell?
I'm out.
Probably because everybody had action on the game. Probably everybody was gambling.
The amount of that would be whatever
that shit went off Friday
when the Detroit Pistons or whatever they went into the stands, and that was the biggest, our heads exploded. I can't believe Ron Artest went after a heckling fan. I was I think that was commonplace.
Now,
40s and prior, there's probably every 2 weeks there was a melee.
That should only be allowed one time, and that's when Aaron Hernandez is calling a game. Fuck that guy. That guy's terrible.
Angel Hernandez, not Aaron.
Hernandez is gone forever. I don't know umpiring, but.
Yeah, Angel Hernandez would get so many fist fights in the 30s.
But he's standing behind the plate. You see the ball really far out. Strike, dude. I am not an expert, and I know that's not a fucking strike.
Yeah, the Schwarber meltdown, had that been 1927, they're just busting out dukes. That's the best.
I like that meltdown. Kyle Schwarber's badass.
Schwarber's greatness.
Babe Ruth had a suspension for going into the crowd or hitting an umpire.
Yeah, for 2 weeks suspension or something.
Yeah, he's the most famous American.
I think they should allow that shit. If you're a baseball player and somebody's talking shit to you, you should be allowed to go back and do whatever.
I mean,
umpires are generally stupid.
This is theories, right? So it's the different era. There was no social media. There was no ESPN. You had a newspaper. So at that time, I would think if you're the Babe, you talking shit? What? It makes sense for me to stand up on top of the dugout and challenge any man in the stands and then duke it out with him. That's just
no one's gonna want to come at that hoss.
Yeah, I think I was talking with Bill Yard. Yeah, we were streaming the other morning at 4 a.m. having coffee, and imagine if social media was around during Mantle's heyday, and the press wasn't in New York, wasn't protecting him and his fucking nightlife, and just the bleacher story. Bill knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys have heard that. Yeah, we won't go into that.
Yeah, that's
just imagine now it's just everything's instant and you hear it. And
everybody's too sensitive. You need to You need to roll back to the old days with some of the stuff. Not all of the stuff, but a lot of the
Yeah.
You
stuff.
should be allowed to smoke in a dugout like Dave Parker used to do.
Can they not smoke anymore? It's just nobody does it.
You can't do it now.
Tell you what, the Caribbean Winter Leagues, they'll still scrap it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a good one. What was it?
Was,
As Drupal Cabrera, somebody
yes,
got into it.
that one. I think it was as Drupal Cabrera. He just clotheslined a dude coming.
Guy was pimping it. Guy was pimping it.
Like they should do like they do in hockey. Let them scrap for a little bit and call it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna relive it. We had a great fight in our dugout. The half season I played independent ball. I can't remember. That's probably like in one of our first
in
5
Lubbock,
episodes.
the Lubbock Crickets.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Dudes
a
like walked out of the
Shaggy Ball
stadium.
Harper situation.
This was the Lubbock Crickets. Please research
Good old
that
Lubbock.
hilarious ass team named after Buddy Holly's band. Speaking of music.
Nice.
But yeah, a little bit more fisticuffs. Why not? That's a good segue into hockey. Let's talk about Bonnie's hockey knowledge, which I think might be phenomenal. Do you collect hockey cards as well?
We sporadically through my life, yeah, hockey kind of comes and goes.
Yeah.
But it's always, my wife's a hockey fan. I grew up a hockey fan, played a little bit as a youth, badly. Was like a Canadiens Nordiques fan for some reason as a child, because we're
Just gotta
like
pick.
my grandparents are from Quebec,
Okay.
so it's like, hey, let's latch onto that. So
Yeah.
was a big Patrick Waugh fan growing up, and then the Avalanche got to Colorado right as I was moving, so
Okay.
I started to follow them a little bit. That Peter Forsberg,
They went on a run. They got I don't know how many
Yeah.
titles there.
Forsberg, Sakic, Adam Foote area, but we play NHL a little bit.
You
We
guys
have a
follow
house
it
league.
much right now?
I do.
He does more than I do right now.
I really didn't have an interest in it until like 2017. I think one of the video games was on sale. I'm
Again,
like,
back
hey,
to
let's
the video game influence for younger
let's-
guys coming in and learning the legends.
let's
Yeah.
check this out. So, we just jump in. He doesn't have a team. I definitely don't have a team. And it just, we get on there. They have tons of legends, and we start doing our house league, which was just, all-time draft based. And I ended up having a ton of Tampa Bay Lightning dudes on my team, and I kind of grew attached to Victor Hedman, and now we're 2-time Stanley Cup champions. So
Yeah, so now legit. And it's kind of that team's the closest team that's not blacked out. On
yeah,
the
it's either I think the Preds are the closest one to us, but we can't watch them because they're in Nashville.
yeah.
Yeah.
blacked
They're
out.
blacked out. So it's either, if we're going local, it's either the Panthers or the Lightning, and I end up with the Lightning.
Yeah. Now, you can tell me because I'm not watching a whole bunch of it, but obviously for the cursory fans such as myself, our favorite thing being the Goons. And I would have my favorites because I was like, yeah, Gretzky was great, but who was that dude's enforcer, right? That was Dave Semenko. So it's like, if that guy scores that many goals, you must be scared of Semenko. And then I would talk to one of my buddies, and he was like, no, the most fearsome of all time was Tony Twist. But he wasn't in the league that long because he blew out his knee. Is it
Right.
how much are they letting him still do the enforcer thing in the NHL as far as you know?
I think the enforcer roles have more just kind of developed into like Hoss forwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you put a
It's just like your big, like there's still some guys out there like
but they're kind of tweeners where they get called up and sent down when needed if they're a true fighter. But you got like you said, a big forward on a line with a superstar. Everybody has more. It's more skill based now. They
Yeah,
don't
you
have
got to be able to
skill.
score. You can't just be
Yeah.
out
But I
there
mean-
skating around to get in the
But
penalty
you got
box.
dudes, you got dudes like Hedman. That's was he 6'6"?
he's big and he's
Skates?
gonna.
It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Then you also got some other guys like Wayne Simmons, who he might be like 6 foot. He's not the big by any means, the biggest guy on the ice, but
But you could call him an enforcer, but he's also got skills.
he's not going to back down from going at it with a guy, but he's also your big leader type on the team. So
Yeah.
there's more, and he's an all-star type player.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, hockey's a fun one. I like it so much in like that. The vibe that comes off of hockey is very much to me kind of like that punk vibe. I don't know why
Yes.
it
Playoff
kind of
hockey
rolls
is
that way,
amazing.
but it's just the mullets and the missing teeth And I don't give a shit. We're not here to be glamorous attitude that goes along with those athletes.
There's like a pop punk meme where it's like, oh, I'm in the stage of liking hockey. For some reason, it's like a punk thing to do sometimes.
Yeah, it's
just like hockey randomly.
Attempts to like whatever people thought to like, I'll wear a mullet ironically. Like, no, dude, there's like millionaires wearing mullets that it's not ironic. That's awesome. So, yeah, that's the hockey take there.
The only thing I know about hockey is that Phil Kessel was a badass. That's when he was with Toronto, because I'm a Maple Leafs guy. I don't never do hockey, but when I do, I'm like, go Maple Leafs. Like,
Kessel looks like a guy that his training regimen is cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Then he went to, like, I think the Pittsburgh Penguins, whatever.
Yeah.
Hamburgers.
Yeah.
Hamburgers.
Man, oh man, yeah, the scan burgers. I don't know. Like you can dig into every ATG video for the next like 6 months until you're fully caught up on all the wrinkles of comedy and existentialism. Really, it's amazing.
Wow.
There's a lot of weirdness that every once in a while will get brought back up, but there's so much.
A lot of it's kind of fleeting, where I've gone back and watched stuff. I'm like, holy shit, I do not remember any of it. And some of it sticks, and it becomes an inside joke that we keep going back to. But like the scan burgers thing, that was actually recorded at the end of a video that I put at the beginning, and I was off chasing a ball to throw in for the dog, and you were just saying weird shit.
I was just stretching out the video for no reason, just going off, and it, you can tell when like we'll pause randomly to try and think of something, and that's when I was like, tell us in the comments what your favorite style of burger is. And it just it turned into that.
It means nothing, but it means everything.
Exactly. Embrace the mystery. Like, embrace what ATG is doing, because it's awesome. Dutch, you can go, man. I like the ground I cover. I'm having so much fun on the YouTube channel, and I'm just grateful I found you guys. And then the fact that you and Bonnie like popped up in the chats, I was like, these dudes are so cool, man. Maybe they'll come on the show. And you guys were just so gracious to be like, heck yeah, that'll be awesome. And hopefully we've teased or showcased your guys' channels and stuff enough so people, if they do stumble across this, can be like, dude, I need to be keeping up with ATG, because you guys are just doing the Lord's work, frankly.
Thank you.
Weirdness in baseball doesn't get any better than that.
And you guys as well, the batting training video with the unicorn and the tape.
Dude, a lot of that was ad-libbed on the spot. Like, we had like an outline of what we wanted to talk about, but...
Yeah.
And the hooking up during the pandemic. I've watched that thing probably 10 times. I made Lori, my wife, lovely wife, Jake's mom, watch it last night, and she loved it. She's all, the steamroller. So I take it that's your wife, or you're just in the backyard filming your wife.
Yeah, talk the wives into it. And yeah, I mean, we just sit around and talk about, wouldn't it be weird if somebody did? And I was talking to you about this the other day, is because I'm so upset. Like, Dutch, you just can't not let it go, because I don't want to let it go.
About the designated hitter?
Well, about most of the MLB rule changes, I have a vision in my mind.
Here's what pisses me the fuck off, is the ghost runner. The fact that you can get a runner on base without actually earning that run, and he's on second, which is already in scoring position, it makes no damn sense.
Well,
yeah,
like,
I hate the ghost runner just as much as you guys.
Yeah.
I think it would make a little more sense if they started him off on first base. I think somebody mentioned that.
If you got to do dumb tweaks like that, I mean, first makes sense because then the defense has at least a chance for a double play.
Yeah.
But,
putting the guy on second.
But also, these are the top players in the freaking globe. They can play extra innings.
Yeah. And my thinking for a sketch was, it's just a room full of like British dudes and like Eastern Europeans, and they have just mountains of drugs like Scarface, and they're just coming up with rules. He's like, "This is a bloody boring game, mate. What's your hits? Some of that PCP and tell me what you do next." And then they just go off the rails from there.
I think
And it's
people
like, so that would make sense. People who've never played baseball and are doing copious amounts of drugs are the ones making
people who make
rule
these rules
changes.
definitely have never played baseball. They don't understand baseball because they're weird rules. I understand the base though, that makes sense. But the ghost runner taking away the designated hitter, nah, I don't.
Well, everything is kind of to speed up the game, I think, in their mind, which doesn't make a lot of sense for a number of reasons. A, if you've ever gone to the ballpark, it's the most enjoyable, like, hours of your day. I'm not really in a rush to get back to real life. Second is, if you're selling advertising, why do you want, like, less spots to sell?
Yeah.
I don't actually
You want your
understand
customers-
that.
Yeah, why would you want your customers not there as long?
And
to enjoy your
there's
product.
there's value in pain and suffering, and I've always said this about taking away the National League pitchers from hitting and the universal DH is like streamlining everything with homers and making it a 2.5 hour game. You're missing the pain of a waving pitcher attempting to bunt, and every once in a blue moon that will lead to something majestic. And what we're not measuring, right? You're just looking at his numbers, right? Like I'm trying to do the Saber analytics course or whatever. Like you could look at Bartolo Colon's stats and tell me they suck, and I know that. But you didn't measure. You never put any value to the awesomeness of his one flipping homer in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
That might actually outweigh going 0 for, hitting like 071 for a career. Like
Plus, there's a lot of pitchers that love hitting, so they get a chance to hit.
Fernando, like Hershiser went for 3 for 3 in a World Series game. It creates, it's not super novel, but I'm just like, dude, accept failure and the slowness of the art. We don't have to fix baseball that much. Really, we don't.
I hope there's a return to some stolen base totals this season.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping for that a little bit, and the shift. I'm still old, and I like batting average just because it looks cool. I mean, if you're a player, you're still looking at that 300. I better fucking hit 300 and get that thing up there. You're paying attention, so it's
I guess Billy Hamilton was my last hope for that. And then, like, I don't know with the new turf, because, like, the old turf, back when you had, like, the Cardinals and Vince Coleman and Willie McGee and Lonnie Smith and running around on that turf, you would get insane numbers. Of course, Ricky was doing all his stuff on dirt mainly, but, like, I wonder if a team would ever get a fast guy and game it and just say, like, this little turf we have between first and second base passes just be a little bit tighter, a little bit less soft, kind of a sprinter's turf. And I don't know. Can dream. But
Baseball is meant to be played on dirt, not turf.
how long we've been rolling, guys? We took up your entire afternoon. I kind of anticipated that for the show because, like, honestly, everybody should just spend the rest of the night watching ATG videos. But how long have we been going for, Earl? Are you keeping track of this?
It's 2:10. We started like 1 o'clock, so like an hour and 10 minutes.
we got time. We got
Yeah, we're
time to
good.
bump into some. We are on the eve. We are on the eve of college baseball. So you guys can give us your college baseball picks. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Omaha or like colleges you like or any sort of college experiences that stand out in your minds. I know UAB's the Blazers. My assistant coach in JUCO, Court Cortez, was a Blazer. And we played him at South Hall. Everybody's moving conferences right now. We're big, or at least I'm a big UTSA Roadrunners homer. Pretty good last year. They took down Stanford when they were number 1. And then Texas State went to the regionals last year. So there's like some good
That's
local
my squad right there.
college baseball. And Alabama has a ton of good baseball going back. But I don't know if you guys got any thoughts on that kind of stuff.
I know Alabama, I think, starts Friday night. That's about my knowledge of going into the NCAA season this year.
And we don't really follow it like super close, but we've been going to, we hit a couple UA games, a few times every year. And it's been kind of cool to see how their programs evolved.
You get the SEC. I mean, you guys are known for football, but SEC baseball all the way up and down the line recruits so well.
Coaches, they're trying.
Is it a good deal to get into a Bama baseball game? Like, I don't even.
$5, $7.
It's pretty cheap.
I know you can get a season ticket package for $190 a head.
Yeah,
And
wow.
there's not a bad seat in the place that Sewell Thomas Stadium.
Games usually aren't ever really that packed either.
And the stadium's like 4 miles from here. We're just outside of town, kind of in a rural area. But if you go up the hill, it's like a mile, and there's the city. Yeah, you can see the stadiums and stuff. But yeah, as far as following it, we kind of once the season starts, we'll start learning it again.
Seeing what's going on there. Yeah, it's hard to handicap preseason. It's not like the pros where you can see signings. Everybody's transferring. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk wiffle ball, because you guys look like you could go to the Major League Wiffle Ball. And then Bonnie was saying you guys got a nice spread where you could do some wiffle ball stadium building. Are there any plans for that in the ATG future? Getting some Lowe's Home Depot action in an actual stadium.
When his knee is ready to go,
I got a month till I'm cleared. Yeah,
we'll be out there hitting homers again.
But it's time to.
I've been out. Usually, I try and get out there a few times a week with our Black Lab mix that is absolutely obsessed with it, and I try and get at least 2 buckets in with the dog.
Yeah. So last year was pretty much canceled because of the ACL injury. Like Acuna, man, you just fine-tuned athletes. It happens.
I'm gonna call it the Austin City Limits injury on the knee. That's what it is.
Yeah, we'll have the infield mode out shorter, and we've done the chalk lines, and it's probably 120 feet to the left field corner.
I think so.
Nice peach tree to block, play like a left fielder, and it's got good dimensions for it. So
it's a little weird shape, but it's almost perfect for it is perfect for wiffle
we regulation wiffle ball with the traditional wiffle ball. We prefer the blitz ball bat with it though.
Oh yeah, Earl's got that.
It's a little bit more dense, and it's shaped like a regular baseball bat, but it hits.
We've done some substantial tests and lab work and turf samples. And the bat and the blitz ball bat and the wiffle ball are calibrated perfectly for the dimensions of the yard.
Nice. Now, I've seen before, and you probably have too, like dudes that have built out epic wiffle ball stadiums like Fenway and Wrigley. They've done all this stuff, but I feel like you guys would go historical. You'd make like Washington Park or something like.
Yeah, and see, I don't know. When we first moved in, the neighbor guy saw it because we don't have a privacy fence on the left side over here. And the neighbor guy was just kind of standing there watching us hit and saw me. He saw that we had the lines and he's like, "You're not going to put bases in, are you?"
Oh, we're going to put in bases.
It's like, "Oh, we fucking are now, dude." So, but,
bases, I keep telling him, like, we need bases, and we need foul poles for the look.
Foul poles is key. Yeah, that's very key. I think, honestly, once you get the foul poles in, then you're off and running to full stadium.
Yeah, the style we play is usually 2-man with like zones. We don't actually run the bases. So, you hit it a little bit past the pitcher. If it's on the fly, it's a single. Certain zones out there, doubles, triples, homer over the fence, obviously. Yeah. So we were discussing that at work this morning of plans for like a 2-man, get the wives over here. And we got one guy whose wife played college softball, got some athletes, and get some kind of ATG tournament thing.
I'll have to get out there and take some hacks.
Absolutely.
Roll every once in a while. We'll bust out the wiffle ball bat. Theories on that. I was reading, I don't know, random thing on bats because I think I'm ADD. People don't think a heavier bat will hit a ball farther, but everybody's going lighter. For those that have read The Physics of Baseball, a good book came out 15, 20 years ago. One of the things they talk about, and this is a theory I'm just throwing out a random baseball bat theory now for no other reason than me and Mike G of the Seguin River Monsters were talking about. Man, somebody needs to make a bat company that's making Babe Ruth bats. So in The Physics of Baseball, they start talking about like sweet spots and nodes and all this other random stuff. And if you could swing, obviously, a heavier bat at the same speed, the ball will go farther. The thinking being is like, well, we want a lighter bat because reaction time and it slows down the swing. So that's certainly in there with the physics. But one thing they noted was the physiology of the human body, and this comes into play. I guess maybe I was thinking of the wiffle ball bat. your body doesn't use as much muscle physiologically when it's way light. The lighter it gets, you're actually using less muscle. So they don't necessarily account like the kinetic energy of me swinging a light bat versus a heavy bat. Yeah, it should be slower. But they took a Roger Maris. Like, is there any study where some guy just used heavier and heavier bats? And so Roger Maris did. He used like a 33 ounce, and then they gave him a heavier one and a heavier one and a heavier one. And he did. He hit the ball farther and farther and farther.
The heavier bat.
And of course it was exhibition, so maybe he's making adjustments like bigger windup to get the big bat around. But the farthest ball he hit was by far with the heavier bat.
Yeah.
And the other thing they note in the Physics of Baseball book, which we kind of have an issue with now, everybody's getting Tommy John, everybody's throwing 98. They talked about, because like back in the old days they used like the bottle bats, and all these dudes were like having 42 ounces and stuff like that. But they talked about like the turnaround power of like the physics of your bat, like the ball bouncing off a heavier bat to turn around, like a Giancarlo Stanley, like turn around like a 98 mile fastball. But it's actually easier with a heavier bat. The other thing that was interesting, and this is an unproven theory, and I don't really know where I'm going with this, but this is why I do this show, because I just talk out of my ass.
Keep going.
Is like bat drag or bat in the zone, right? So if you're like Chris Davis of the Orioles and you just like hit a homer and whiff every other time, or you know what I'm saying? Like some of these dudes are just like all or nothing, huge upswing, bats in the zone for a split second, you better hit it. But if you go back and like look at some like Rod Carew, Tony Gwynn footage, just kind of like this bat drag, like they're in there for a while. Flaring that slider. The zone is like coming, it's a level swing, it's coming through there longer. So the idea, especially how yoked these guys are, if you're like, of course there's no shift anymore. I had the idea is like, use a heavier bat to beat the shift because you're going to be late and fool them. But maybe there is a market for much heavier ounces. If you can muscle up and handle getting it out in the zone, you're in the zone longer, and you can turn around the heat that you see at Major League levels a lot easier. You produce more energy, more distance. So like now you're hitting oppie bombs, 34 out of the yard. That wasn't even a question. That was just me talking out of my ass.
Like I wonder, you think about who's the strongest. Like immediately comes
like
to
Goldschmidt
mind,
or something,
just Judge Stanton. Honestly, what size bat does Judge use? I'm wondering.
Yeah.
30, 33, 30? I have no idea. 30, 34, 31? I don't.
Most of the guys won't even go. I don't even think we did that whatever experiment in Colorado last year, and I tried to get like mega bats made, and they're like, dude, I can't, like the stock wood we can't make anything above a 36.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
we watched some of that at work again this morning. I wanted to show Tim Sauce Boss in the Discord. In the Discord, his name's Sauce Boss, about that PD kid's fucking swing.
Kraska.
Good God.
He's committed to Georgia Tech, but I think that dude's like a top 5 rounder.
That's like a high school kid?
He's a high school kid with insane power. Insane bat speed and power.
He's got to be bruised from like shoulder to his ass the way that bat comes across violent on his swing.
We asked him, I was like, what's up with that swing? He goes, dude, I actually grew up, like, we played so much wiffle ball.
There you go.
And he said he got that swing from wiffle ball. And then the other guy, Jeremy, I'm forgetting his last name, but he's the swing man. He does, like, those mega golf drives. The swing man was at that event.
Nowak, I think.
Yeah. Jeremy Nowak was like, dude, honestly, training with light bats is more important than, like, heavy weightlifting and heavy bats. Because that's where you teach the muscles the speed. He's like, I do tons of light bat training. So it was actually really interesting going to do that and talking to those guys about their different swings and stuff. I don't know.
That Kraska kid, I was impressed.
Crazy.
That was wild. Yeah.
Oh, since I got you guys on, we're trying to do this. I sent this in to Saber, so this is like a tease. Nobody will see it. I don't know if we ever will because we're going to have to do some rework. But two of the dudes out there, and one of them was like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You remember Will Dembski, Dutch, that Caltech kid that was just humongous? Dude, he was huge. He was so big. They wrote, let me do the screen capture. They wrote a paper. Caltech, of course, right? That's what they do. Let me go to OBS and do screen capture. Display capture, it goes to their one. And then, look at this thing. analysis of home runs in Victor, Colorado.
Oh, wow.
If that comes up on the screen there.
Yeah.
They did, like, they extrapolated out, like, Bradley Jones.
Good God.
It's like this is probably getting reworked if we can get into the Sabre publication. We've only got, like, a few months, and I have, like, no time. But interesting event. I'll hold my tongue about Guinness, as I really want to sue him. But honestly, probably the longest baseball ever hit on Earth happened last summer. That's my argument, Dutch. I don't know.
Yeah.
But do wild things. Promote the sport of baseball.
Yeah, no shit.
But
I had fun because I'm not a hitter, but I was able to pitch, so that was kind of cool. I got to throw some pitches out there.
got to go hang out, talk to baseball guys. You would have never known. I don't even know, but like Eric Sim was cool. Will Taylor was cool. Those other guys.
It was the baseball bat bro's like manager or social media guy. That was kind of like weird.
I don't know. It just was like we tried to do it as a joint thing, and then like you wouldn't even know we existed or had anything to do. But I did bring the project to him, so I was like, this would be fun as hell.
Eric Sim did mention you in one of his videos, but the other guys, the baseball bat bros, did not.
But he kicked back. He kicked back on his YouTube views, which helped soften the blow. So that was nice. Class guy. I got nothing bad to say. But those dudes out there was interesting to listen to talk about hitting. But I don't know, man. Check out ATG. You want to get into some bumper music because we're all gonna go back and watch this episode to see what it sounds like because we had so much random tech stuff going. I don't know. Dutch picked out the bump music today. Let's see what we got.
It was your generic like the Wolf music, because unfortunately on YouTube you can't use copyrighted music.
Is there best San Antonio punk bands for Bonnie and Jake to come out and see?
Or Orbison is all
Destroy Orbison.
There's another one. They're called Given a Chance. They're pretty cool.
Given a Chance.
Mm-hmm. There's Silent. I think Silent Minority. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those are the three that I know of the most of. There's a lot of other ones. Like I forgot the name of the club that they play at, but there used to be this cool place called the Corova that used to be punk shows. I want to find a punk house because in Dallas, where I'm from, I used to go to punk shows all the time.
Fitzgerald's is the place we take them. They do a lot of random live at Fitzgerald's.
I know in Houston they used to have a Fitzgerald's in Houston.
Up 281, there's that Fitzgerald. I feel like I'm gonna get stabbed in there, and that feels like the right place, right?
No, you're fine. I think some people people that don't know what it is misunderstand it. Like, oh, that screaming and violence. No. You just go to the bar, order some PBRs, and just fucking go to the thing.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's talk mosh pit etiquette, right?
Well, somebody falls, you pick them up. Really, that's really it. And don't if there's a large crowd, don't stage dive.
Don't throw bows.
No, you get those hardcore kids that come to shows every now and then and be stupid and just fucking they start doing that kicking thing with their legs.
Kicks and shit flying everywhere.
Dude, I went and saw the story so far, and there was this random hardcore kid, and they're throwing fists and legs. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, don't do that. Yeah. Just want to go bouncing. Is really once you get in it, you're like, this is insane. I can't believe I'm doing it. This is so much fun.
Do the pogo.
If you don't get your tooth chipped.
I will say I saw Latterman at Fest when they reunited, whenever that was, and I literally couldn't breathe, man. There were so many people there, and people were crowd surfing and shit. It was terrible.
What's the big fest in Florida that you're talking about?
The Fest, yeah.
That's what it is?
The Fest.
It's the greatest thing ever. All I do is drink beer and eat checkers all weekend. But
checkers.
And it's surprisingly it's so family friendly. It's crazy.
It is, yeah.
But it's just black T-shirts and black hoodies and tattoos as far as the eye can see. But it's so chill and nobody's a dick, and I don't know. I fucking love it.
You have the group of people that they look like Dillinger 4, where you were just talking about with the black hoodie and the black shirts.
Now, how many times have you guys gone to the fest? I know Dutch, you've been a few times. Twice.
We've been twice. We were going to go in 2020, but COVID canceled it, so we pushed back. We've gone the past 2 years. Yeah. We have friends that we stay with that live in Gainesville, so it's convenient as hell, and they show us around. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys had one video where you guys were going to Gainesville. You guys were like mapping it or whatever. You guys were heading out there. I can't remember what episode that was, but it was for live music.
We've done 2 of those leading into Fest, and then we've always in the past 2 years we've done a video recap when we get back, and then like a separate video where it's just music, the band footage that we made sure to get in between there to put a little package together.
My goodness.
Good stuff. We always meet some friends that come from all over the country that congregate there. It's good shit.
That's good stuff. I don't know, Dutch. I'm close to rapping, but that doesn't mean. I mean, the problem you guys are gonna have with me is Dutch knows I can just talk out of my ass forever. Like it never ends. I'll just pick something and go, but you got to keep these things short and consumable. And I have no idea because I see like virtually no sound signature in Audition. I'm not sure what that looks like, but
what I was gonna say was we were watching one of the reels earlier, and like the intro music was like a Dopamine song, and I got super stoked. I was like, dude, the fucking Dopamine's like.
Oh yeah.
And I remember when I saw them last, Mikey Erg was still in the band, so that was like a long time ago.
Yeah,
they were at the fest this year.
Yeah.
We missed them.
Isn't the guitar player now like sometimes the guy from the Raging Nathans?
I can't remember.
I think
we missed the Dopamines this year. There was some conflicting show that we went to instead.
I remember I went to a show and I was drunk and I was talking with Mikey Erg from when he was in the Dopamines, and I was talking to the bass player Nate from Banner Pilot. We had a discussion about music.
Yeah,
that was like the coolest thing ever. They're really like musical nerds, so.
Yeah, Banner Pilot's awesome. You mentioned them earlier. Yeah, I love them too.
Because Banner Pilot, to me, like if you want to play a pop punk bass line, that's like who you listen to.
And they haven't done an album in like 10 years.
It's like 2014, I think, was Souvenir.
Yeah, that was like the last time. They're technically still not broken up, but they're just not putting out music.
I think they all have like real good jobs.
They're still posting.
Because do you remember the previous band Rivethead when like Nate was playing in it? Yeah, Rivethead was sick because like Zach is like one of my favorite singers and punk musicians ever.
And like all those Minneapolis bands, they've all played off of their heads at some point with Ryan.
Dillinger 4.
Shuffle around, yeah.
Our
buddy,
Midwest scene's great.
The buddy that we stay with, Brian Grill, Turfbeard on Twitter. He works in the same industry I do. I met him on Twitter and he's like, "Oh shit, you're punk and you work in golf and agriculture." He's from Minneapolis and back in the day actually was the day manager at Triple Rock. Yeah. The venue up there, you know what I'm talking about? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not sure. Earl might.
Triple Rock Social Club in Minneapolis.
The Social Club?
Yeah.
You know those guys?
No.
No, it's a venue in Minneapolis.
No, I never heard of it.
Okay, now.
The only one I know of is a famous one, the one that the Dillinger 4 guys had, the Triple Rock or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, our buddy.
Okay, they changed the name.
They
closed it.
I think they closed it a couple years ago.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
I was aware of that one because like that was like the famous one.
Yeah.
That's the one we're talking about. A friend of ours used to work there.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, that's cool story, Bonnie.
You going through the kitchen like Goodfellas.
That's the place where you go and you drink like literally all fucking day. You just get hammered.
What? I wouldn't know anything about that.
They filmed a No Effects video there back in the day.
Yeah, the No Effects one. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was weird because I saw a live video of like Dillinger 4 recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, Patty's wearing a shirt. Like I've never seen him wear a shirt. I guess he's calmed down a little bit, but.
Gotta get now. What was the Dutch Chattahoochee? Was played the bass in a number of bands. What were the name of those bands?
Dude, So long time ago, I was in a band called Happy Hangover. It was a stupid ass name, but like I don't know. It popped up. So we were playing one day. I was like, I just thought of that. I was like young, dude. I was like 20 years old or something.
Check out a ska band from Bozeman called Scavocado. Pretty solid. They had like 2 or 3 good front band Scavocado.
I like ska. Well, pop punk ska. Anyway.
Yeah.
Less Than Jake is cool. Real Big Fish. Mustard Plug.
Yeah.
Definitely. What do you call it? Fuck. The band that the guy from the Lawrence Arms was in.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Slapstick.
I know. Yeah, Slapstick.
They were fucking cool. Brennan's cool. The Lawrence Arms, and then you had the band before that, which turned into the Lawrence Arms. But
yeah,
it's definitely my scene.
That'll be fun. Well, we're definitely gonna link up with you guys.
Broadway Calls. There we go. Broadway Calls.
That's all I know. Got to keep track of ATG. Certainly have you guys on the show again. What a treat. Maybe shorter segments, but I think the first one deserved a full-on ATG dive in who you guys are. And I don't know, man. Just share ideas. Oh, I will say one thing I noticed. This is just like random since we're kind of like we're doing the same thing. We're just like making baseball fun and want to share it with people.
Yeah.
There's some dude on Twitter had the sweetest move ever. Guy's name was Baseball Time Machine, and it's like at the Baseball TM. And when you follow that dude, it's like automated. This like tweet greet or tweet GR thing sends you a DM that says, "Thanks for following me. It'd mean a lot if you considered subscribing." And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of nice. I've never seen that auto message before." And I went to his little channel to see what it was, and sure enough, he's doing like some history baseball stuff. I was like, hell yeah, I'll follow you. So I was like, man, I don't really know how you up the subscribers or something like that, but I thought that was a sweet little tool, so I just mentioned that to you guys.
Yeah, we've never really even thought about how to up the subscribers. I don't know if you guys have.
We have. It's kind of a game because it's just like like I'm not saying we're going to the top of the pile, but you do want to share. And the one thing, because we're like Googling it, reading on it, I thought that was a good little tool. And then there's some sort of science to tags. And your like first like couple hundred words in the description of your video. And it's kind of like there's a couple like little apps like TubeBuddy and vidIQ. They're not that expensive. I think it's like $4 a month or something. They're supposed to help me like maximize or like the SEO score. So look into that because honestly, you guys should have freaking thousands, tens of thousands of millions of followers. But like, and the other thing TubeBuddy does is I can see on your page because I'm looking at the 1915 trailer preview and I can see the SEO score. So you guys could do like little things like that might up numbers. But we'll certainly push everybody your guys' way. But, yeah, it's kind of a game. I just think that you guys should be huge, and I'm just happy to catch you guys early on so we can keep following. But
thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show. My praise is effusive, but honestly, that's how much me and Dutch are enjoying the shit out of it.
And I enjoy your guys' stuff, too. This outside-the-box DIY, you guys, what you're doing is awesome, and that guacamole-covered sports coat looks great.
We'll have to find a way to get to Alabama to do like a
we'll get up that way.
It's not super far if you fly there.
I missed the alumni game a while ago. This sports like the T Texas Tony Turnstile is sort of the abject failure, degenerate, losing touch with reality baseball announcer.
That's why the interview sketch. A lot of that wasn't even scripted. That's real life.
My life is.
That's real life.
My life is falling apart, and so. That's what that is. But, yeah, no, I don't always throw in the suit. Usually I will throw in a suit, but for ATG, it's out of respect for the game and the guests that you got to throw on the blazer.
Thank you.
But we'll let you guys go. I think what we should do for bumping it out, do the bump out music, look at them Jaguars.
If you want to play, look at the Jaguars.
You got to bump out with.
What is it? The Jaguars or R's, whatever the fuck
Jaguars.
Says?
Yeah, Eddie Stanky is a big part of the South Alabama.
That is definitely the greatest stadium name ever, Stanky.
Stanky Field, Eddie Stanky, and
get your stank on.
Be like that guy's
stank on.
Instead of the pitcher being filthy, that guy's stanky.
He was in Eddie Stanky. Look, that dude's numbers was like. Let me pull.
Give him the stank.
Yeah, Eddie's. I'll pull his baseball reference as we go out.
An on-base machine, like a prototypical number 2 hitter.
Yeah, his on-base percentage was kind of insane. I want to look if I can do the screen capture on some Eddie Stanky numbers as we outro with the.
So he's a Southern Alabama guy or what?
No, he was like from New York. I'm not really sure the deal with what his connection was because if you look here, he's from. Born in Philadelphia, but then died in Fairhope, Alabama. So he may have moved. I'll have to read his Sabre bio. But his on-base percentage was like his career on-base was like .410.
That's a borderline Hall of Fame career in not a whole lot of full seasons.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy numbers. It's based on balls for that era, like 460. He was third in voting for MVP, 144 walks in 152 games, like with 158 hits. That's insane. That's but Eddie Stanky, the Stanky Field. But ATG, thank you guys. Dutch, thank you, buddy. And we'll get to some. Look at them Jaguars. right here.
Absolutely.
This guy's gonna get a lot of random attention all of a sudden.
Right. We'll let that run, and then we'll just close up all the live streams. Right back. Oh, now see I go there.
The tags are short on errors, but they're long
The classic
on
mic right there.
scoring runs.
Keep that going. Until next time, 3BGB, holding it down. Check out some. I can subscribe to Jag Nation. ATG, thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate it. Had a good time. Learned a lot. It was kind of cool learning their history, how they got going, got started rather.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna close. We're just gonna keep the Zoom. We'll just keep the Zoom open and then end the stream and say our goodbyes off screen.
We got the coach and the team and the band.
Yeah, in that stream. Bam.